Have you ever asked yourself, am I really advanced in English or am I just getting by? Maybe you understand most of what you read and hear, but still struggle when it's your turn to speak. You teach beautifully, but when it's your time to express your own ideas and your feelings in English, you freeze. Or you can teach beautifully, but struggle when it's your time to speak using spontaneous English. Well, let me tell you something. Being advanced has nothing to do with perfection. It has to do with showing up in real life, showing up in English, showing up in who you really are, regardless of the language you're speaking. It's about using your English with confidence, spontaneity, flexibility, and depth. And today I'll show you what it really takes to get there and some practical steps you can start taking right now to move forward. So let's go. So, after all, what is it that an advanced speaker of English can do? What does it mean to be an advanced speaker of English? Well, advanced English is not only about fancy words and interesting expressions or phrasal verbs and sophisticated structures. It's about a lot more than that. It's about owning the language and making it work for you, regardless of the situation you're in. So, here are 8 things that every advanced speaker of English can do, and they actually take part in regularly. The first thing is they are able to adapt. They can go from a catch up with a friend at a cafe to a business meeting, and they can use their English appropriately in every and each situation. They can shift register consistently so they know what's appropriate for every kind of different situation. Again, from a catch up with a friend in a cafe to a business meeting to a night out with colleagues. They can grasp nuance. You know those jokes that you watch in sitcoms and they only make sense when they're in English? That's what advanced speakers can do. They can not only understand these ideas, but they can also express them. So they can be ironic, sarcastic, they can be funny, they grasp nuance, idioms, irony, tone, culture. Nothing gets lost to them. They speak with ease. They don't need to pause and hesitate all the time. And most of all, they don't keep second guessing themselves. They don't need to break a sentence every time they speak. They understand real life English. So even though there are different accents, even though there is background noise, even though there are people who may make mistakes, they still understand what people are trying to say. They express complexity. They are able to express their emotions, their opinions, their mood. They can share stories, they can share subtle feelings, and they can also share subtle opinions. They are able to disagree, being tactful and being aware of what their role is in the conversation. They're specific. They are able to use adjectives, structures, and voice tone to express exactly what they mean. They can like paint a picture using words in English. And last but not least, they can take part in deep conversations. This is something that I'm always bringing to my advanced language practice, my conversation course for teachers. In this group, we always have deep subjects. That doesn't mean they're boring. They're quite the opposite. They are amazingly fun, but they're usually and very often deep because it's when we access the most powerful vocabulary we have. And that kind of vocabulary and structure, you don't take the opportunity, you don't have the opportunity to use with your students on a daily basis. And this all makes up a person who is far more than just an English speaker. It is a person who's able to use the language to express who they really are. It goes way beyond getting the message across. It's about having your own voice in English. Here go 5 practical things that you can start doing now in order to reach that level. First of all, consume real English. No ESL videos, no adapted content, no adapted books. Read the real stuff. Listen to the real stuff. Watch the real deal. Go for real podcast shows, TV shows, articles. The messy, beautiful, and rich English that real people use. Number 2, be obsessively curious. Yes, this is a great secret. Don't just learn words, learn moments, learn chunks. Every time you read something, be curious, try to go beyond that, beyond the text. Why do these words go together? How do they combine? What's the structure that the writer used? And why this choice? Is it because is the writer trying to convey formality, maybe irony, sarcasm? What was the idea behind the choice of words? Every expression, every podcast episode, every line in a book has something to teach you. You just have to keep your eyes open. And when you do find it, receive it, own it, repeat it, bring it to your life. Number 3, let it come out. It's not just about input. Actually, it's never going to work if you just keep consuming things in English. You need to start using what you learn. So output is crucial for your development. Of course, whatever comes in must come out, right? Because as you know, if you don't use what you learn, your brain will delete it. That's normal, right? That's the same with your English. If you learn and you acquire a new knowledge, but you don't use it, you're going to forget it. So some tips that I always give my students, and I always do it myself, is talk to yourself. It may sound crazy. If you're not willing to do it in front of other people, do it in the shower. Do it while you're commuting to work, while you are, I don't know, doing the dishes. But talk to yourself. Use new words. Use the new expressions. Describe your day. Describe your job. Describe your favorite recipe, but use it. Articulate the words, not just in your head, okay? Bring it to your physical world. Use it, practice it. This is the only way for you to actually own your words, for you to own the English language. Number 4, do it so often that you don't even realize what you're doing anymore. Let me tell you what I mean by this. I remember clearly one aha moment I had. So ever since I was a teenager, I am the only one who does my nails. You know, I don't go to the manicure to have my nails done. I do them myself for a number of different reasons. First of all, because I think I'm gonna wash the dishes, and 2 days later, the nail polish is going to start peeling off, and I feel really upset for having paid for something I can do that is just going to come out in 2 or 3 days. So bottom line, this is the main reason why I do it myself. And also because I take some time to reflect and everything. And I remember once I was doing my nails, and I was looking down. Of course, I was applying the nail polish, and then when I looked up, I realized I was watching a Friends episode. I remember clearly it was Friends at the time, very long ago. And I could understand every joke. Like I was laughing. I was laughing and I was looking down. And when I looked up, I was like, oh my God, I didn't need the subtitles to get the joke. And that was so interesting. That was one, like the very first aha moment I had. And that hit me like with the thought that, hey, I really speak English. I really understand English. So you should start doing it so often that when you realize you are using the language and you are not actually making a conscious effort to understand it. You know what I mean? You're gonna do this so often that once it's gonna become natural, just like the way I'm doing now. You know, I speak English so often that for me, opening my mouth and speaking English is just as regular as speaking Portuguese. And this is what I want you to start doing. This is going to be the same process for you if you give yourself the same chance and the same opportunity. And this is when we truly understand that we are fluent. And finally, find your people. Find a group of people where speaking English is not a performance. It's a place for people to open up, for people to actually activate the superpower they have, and that after all makes us feel so good about ourselves, right? Isn't it good speaking English? Isn't it good using another language fluently, something we've been studying for so long? So find a place where you feel comfortable to show up, whether it is by showing your strengths or your vulnerabilities. You don't need to be more than anyone. You just need to be yourself. And of course, it's a group that will push you further, right? We always need a challenge in order to be better. So find a place where you feel comfortable yet challenged to be better every day because you grow faster when you're not growing alone. Finally, let me leave you with this reflection. Your English might be walking, but is it running yet? You speak for your students, but when was the last time you spoke for yourself? And finally, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to stop standing still. You just need to start moving forward. So here's my invitation. Out of these 5 things I mentioned, choose one that you will start doing today and you're going to carry out throughout all this week. And if you're looking for a space where your English can stop being just good enough and start being really deep, confident, and expressing yourself who you are and helping you express yourself and show who you really are as a person, Advanced Language Practice is the right group for you. Come join us because you weren't meant to just speak English. You were meant to own it.